Welcome to my channel, Anuki Jules. I am here today with a more positive, well, I don't know, it depends on perception. It depends on how you perceive this message. Um, I, I'm coming today with a message that was inspired by just looking around at my surroundings and um, just knowing like what I went through to get to this space and that I'm still not done. Like it's just getting better and better. like, whew, okay. So this is like this I feel like this is gonna serve as a couple of points. Um Motivation and also a warning, like a take heed kind of thing, right? So I look around at my surroundings, and I've did videos. Well, I did a couple videos where I'm kind of showing my surroundings, and it's exactly where I want to be. Like surrounded with nature, it's peaceful, it's quiet. Like I love it. I'm so grateful beyond words. Like I don't even have grateful. I don't even feel like grateful is the word to express it. And I feel like a big part of that is the struggle. I know my last couple videos have been kind of long, but there was some things I needed to get off my chest for me to really just kind of, it kind of went in hand with the forgiveness thing for me to kind of really just release that energy. Um, you stay with people out of, a sense of loyalty to them. They may have been there for you in times where other people wasn't there. It's a using thing. They may have something that you want or you feel that you need that you can't get on your own. Or you may feel like they're a shortcut to it. Like, okay, they already got it, so let me get it from them. You know what I'm saying? That type of energy. Um, it could also be fear of judgment. It could also be fear of being alone. It could be fear of what other people may say. Oh, other people think this is the best person for me, even though I don't completely feel happy in this situation. But other people looking at it thinking, oh, why wouldn't you be happy? You get this, you get that. This person loves you. This person, da da da. And then you stay with somebody just because of what somebody else thinking about it. Like, not all of those things apply to my situation. I think for me, I stayed in some situations. One, I feel like out of loyalty to other people. Um, Also to feeling like I can change somebody. Like I knew that it was things about them, and not necessarily that wasn't good for me. That just wasn't good for them. Their way of thinking or whatever, it wasn't good for them. But it was them, and me trying to change them, it only caused resistance within myself because they still wasn't changing. They still was doing them, even though it was detrimental to them. They still was doing them. It didn't matter what I said. They still was doing what they wanted to do. So in terms, it caused a resistance within me. You know what I'm saying? Be with somebody who you want to be with, regardless of like whatever may be considered, I guess, their flaws or whatever. As long as you happy with them, they make you happy, or you happy with them. Should I say not they make you happy, but you're happy with them. Um, what may be considered a flaw, whatever, that should not be at the forefront. If you happy with them, if you enjoy your time with them, um, if you can see yourself growing with them, if they support you, you support them, you don't want to change them. Like you're okay with how they are. How if they never change, you are okay with them how they are. I have been in situations whereas I was hoping that the person changed. Not necessarily that I even tried to change them, but I feel like in doing that, I was changing parts of myself to fit who they were. That's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? But in every single case, and I'm not like I said, I'm not gonna go into deep details about all that because that's really not the important part here. Um, I did those things, and I realized that I wasn't manifesting things in my life that I wanted because I was really in a resistance state of mind. My heart was in resistance. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that I didn't love these people, because I did, but you can love somebody and not be with them. And this is like, I think we get this misconstrued a lot. Some people are comfortable vibrating in their lower frequencies, right? And when you're trying, like this is what I'm talking about, you can't change somebody. Somebody needs to want to grow with you. Sometimes people are comfortable being in those low frequencies. And when you are trying to get them to step outside of it and step it up, it makes them uncomfortable, it makes you uncomfortable. It has to be something that they see in themselves and something that they want to actively change in themselves. Not something that you're trying to make them change in order to, if you want to be with me, you got to be like this. That cannot be the premises, because it's just really causing resistance. They have to want it themselves. You can't change anybody. You can only change what you're doing, and either they're going to vibrate with you or vibrate the fuck on. I keep saying that because that's very key. You know what I'm saying? It's very key, because either you're gonna, either in a situation, one or two things are gonna happen. If they're not willing to grow, if they're not actively willing to grow and change things about themselves, because change is constant. That's the reality of this world. Like, everything changes. If it don't change, it's dead. If it's not changing, it's not growing, it's dead. So if somebody just stuck on being the same, and you know that this vibration does not fit the vibration that you at, or vibration you want to go. You may be wanting to raise your vibration or be in a higher vibration, but you can't be in a vibration if you constantly worry, you constantly stress, you constantly in fear of abandonment. Like, you can't get out of these modes because you with somebody that trigger this in you every single day. How can you get out of it? How can you ascend beyond it when you with somebody that triggers those things in you every single day? And there's no growth in it. It's just constant triggering, because they're not trying to change. And you find yourself trying to change to fit into the narrative of their life, but that doesn't fit where you're going. And what end up happening is you start blocking things that's supposed to be in your life, because you got people and things and frequencies in your life that's not supposed to be there, because you're trying to vibrate them. You can't be in all, like, it's kind of like being, like, look at it like a radio station, right? If you like in between that dial, you in between the station, it's gonna sound staticky. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get the full sound clear. You know what I'm saying? Hear all the tones, the words, and everything ahead. You like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna hear all that. And that's because you kind of like riding between frequencies. No, you need to get on the frequency you want to be on, the correct frequency. And a lot of times you with somebody who, and like I said, I'm trying to choose my words carefully, because it's not that they're allowing, it's really you. It's not that they allowing you or not allowing you, or they're blocking you. You're blocking yourself, because you fear moving on. You fear leaving this person behind. You fear being judged, which goes with another one of the things. Like, no woman wants to have multiple children with multiple men. And so, you know, if you end up not being compatible with the person that you had children with, then you can feel like a failure. You know, it's like, oh, I failed my family, I failed my children, I failed myself. And I don't want this to sound contradictory, so let me be clear about this. I'm not talking about somebody who they're actively growing and trying to do better, trying to be their best, or being their best every day. Every day is not going to be the same. Some days you're not going to be like this. Some days you're not going to feel your best. Some days you're not going to be vibrating the highest. You know, and that's when it's good to have a partner that compliments you, because they'll help you out in those moments. They'll help you remember who you are and why you're here and what you're doing. Not somebody just like, oh, well, you down. Well, shit, I don't want to be about that. That's your problem. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even though it is, but a partner that is really meant for you is going to support you and at least try to help you get out there. You know, I went from where I was at, I took a leap of faith, and I left a situation that I felt was not beneficial to my growth. I felt like I was dying inside. And, you know, and it's nothing against that person. It was really me, because it was certain things about me that just wasn't compatible with that person. Just like I don't want to like blast somebody, because every situation was necessary. I don't regret not one of the situations, not one of them. Even the situation where I feel like, you know, I wasn't completely being me. Like, again, I say that wasn't about him. That has nothing to do with him per se. It was really me. I felt like that because it was certain things about myself that I wasn't able to express fully in this relationship. And being that I wasn't able to be me, this is why I say, like, with anybody, I don't want to be with somebody that they can't be themselves with me, or them being themselves conflict with who I am. Because then one of us is going to be compromised, or one of us is going to, you know, going to be betraying our own soul. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't want that for anybody that I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be completely happy. I don't want you to have to change who you are to be with me. Unless there's something that you, like I said, and I don't even say to be with me. I don't want you to change unless you feel that it's something that you need to change. Not about being with me. Like, this got to be something whether you with me or not. If you feel like these are things about myself that I want to do better on, do that for yourself. Not because I want to be with this person. Do that for you, because it's going to benefit you and it's going to attract what you need and what you want. That may not be me. you may raise your vibration and attract something that may be way better than me for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm at with it now. Like that was a thought process. That's why I began our prayer thinking about using cologne. I'm in the love of cologne. Cologne loves me. I'm a part of cologne. Cologne is a part of me. I'm one with cologne. Cologne is one with me. I can succeed as part of cologne or fail as an individual. I can be cologne that I wish in cologne as long as my wish to stay in cologne. I am never alone. Cologne is, I am. Cologne can, I can. Cologne does, I do. I'm on. Like, to me, Chicago was depressing to me. I don't mean no offense to anybody that's staying there. I mean, I'm just being honest. When I went back to Chicago last year, it was depressing to me. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, Chicago is a beautiful city. You know what I mean? But as far as like the people and some of the things people going through and how some people are living, not really seeing anything better for themselves besides the way they're living. And a lot of it is in fear. A lot of like it's really in fear. And I can't see myself ever living like that. You know what I mean? So like it wasn't a place for me. And I remember just like so many people, you know, even when we moving on, like with me being like, I remember people criticizing me for not going back to my children's father, the like feeling like, you know, putting their fears off on me. Basically, like even in some cases, I remember having conversations. I'm telling like, you projecting, because like I keep it above. Like I was 100 with my children's father. Like I did not keep anything from him. I was not secretive. I was not hiding anything from. I did not cheat on him. Like none of this stuff. So you know what I'm saying? Like it was what it was. I was having to recognize what was for me and what wasn't, and that's just simple as that. So I had people like, you know, criticizing my choice and, oh, you moving on with this other person and da 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 this and the third. And I'm just like, you know, I recognize something in this person as far as like how we can grow together, how we both have the same ideas and the same goals. Like what I have learned from my children's father is everything is temporary. So just because it may feel like this now, that don't mean that it will feel like this forever. Hopefully it do. Hopefully it feels better and better as time goes on. At this point it have. So I'm saying what I'm learning is to not even worry so much about it. And that really helps a lot with my abandonment issues. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, like that helps me a lot to deal with that. Like not focus so much on if it's going to work out and just appreciating that it is. And what we're working toward now, like it's working. You know what I'm saying? It's working for us. And like I said, I couldn't be happier with the choices that I have made at this point. Like I said, even the ones that seem like they was bad choices. People who were not in the best relationships or the best situations themselves were trying to tell me that I should go back to a situation where I wasn't happy in. And it was because of their own fear of moving on from a situation that they're not happy in. And I had to realize that like, you're telling me to go back to a situation, but the situation you're in, you're not happy in it. And you're just willing to stay because you're scared to move forward. That's not me. I'm not scared. So why am I letting you get in my head about that? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, and don't get me wrong. Let me back up. It was point in times where I was scared. It was. It was point in times where I was scared to move on. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm like, okay, I got 3 children. How am I going to do this by myself? And I realized like I was doing a lot of things on my own. And like to me too. So I drew this tree lady. And I had like these portals around the lady. I'm probably going to put a picture up here so you guys can see it. But I drew this lady and I drew like these portals around like this tree lady. And then I had behind the portals where you can't see, I was writing different things, like different manifestations in these portals. And when I look around, like all I see is that tree lady. Like when I look around, like, cause it's like literally like I am surrounded by trees. And like, if anybody know me, like I love trees. Like I can't even, that's another video, but I love trees. And like this, it just makes me appreciate, you know, my manifestations like that much more. Like, you know, and it also allows me to trust my manifestations. Like, whew. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna get into, you know, all that, but like seriously, it wasn't just that. Like I have another one, like a painting that I did, and actually, we had went to a park, and this was again we was having like a family paint drawing day or whatever. We actually took paint to the park, and it was like these two trees that was like, you know, next to each other, and it was like the sun was like shining. Like no, actually before I even drew it, I saw this. And we went to the park, and it was like a scene at the park, and I was like, oh my god. So I painted, and I still haven't finished that painting, but I painted it, and I started painting it, like I said, because I still hadn't completely finished it. Or maybe it is finished. Maybe that's what I needed to do. Maybe all these drawing trees and stuff was, you know, a part of me aligning with my manifestations. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just didn't know it at the time. Like, why am I still being inspired to draw trees? And then I'm looking around like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Okay. But you know, like I said, I mean, I'm saying all to say, like, I did this video because, like, I just wanted to share this with you. Like, it was people that was holding, like, they gonna say people that was trying to hold me back based on their fears, and they was in, like I said, they was in relationships that they were not happy in. They did not want to be with the person they was with, but they was staying for whatever reason. I'm not gonna get into A, B, C, or D, but they was staying because of whatever reason, whatever their reasons were. It wasn't love. It wasn't because they was really truly happy with this person. It was for really, a lot of it was fear based. Just being honest. Like in every single situation, like I said, I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to talk about their personal situation. I'll talk about my own, but I don't want to talk about their personal situations like that. But in almost every single case, each person was just like not happy in that situation. And you know, I'm not a person that want to break people up. But if you coming to me and you talking to me about the situation, I'm not gonna lie to you either. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm always gonna feel like that. If you're not happy in the situation and you're not willing to put in the work, the other person not willing to put in the work, then why do you keep staying in a situation that you're not happy in? So I'm gonna always tell somebody that, like, now, if you can work on it and you willing to compromise on certain things, this person willing to compromise, y'all willing to meet in the middle and y'all come together, that's one thing. But that did not seem to be the case in the situation. So a lot of times these people were telling me to not move forward in the way I was moving because they were afraid to move forward in the way that they wanted to move forward. They were scared for whatever reason. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into different reasons, but they were scared. And so, you know, those little bit of doubts that I already had in my mind, like though their fears, and fear is very contagious. It's very contagious. Their fears was like spreading to me. Like, so now I'm starting to question and doubt what I knew to be certain before. Either you're gonna affect them or they're gonna affect you. And you have to be realistic with yourself. If you're in a situation where most people around you are not willing to change, eventually their fear is going to rub off of you. Like, you're going to start to question things that you know is not true for you. And that's what I'm saying. Like, with me living the way I'm living right now, like the same people that, you know, they can recognize, like, okay, yeah, okay, you happy there, that's good. But the same people, like, if I'm like, hey, you should try to come, you know, live out this way, they're like, nah, because they want to be in the city. Like, they, even though they complain about the violence and the shooting and the this and the that, they so used to it, they don't see anything outside of it. And they don't want to see anything outside of that because they're afraid of anything outside of that. I'm not going to say who, but I was telling someone recently, you know, about my surroundings. I was actually showing them. And I'm like, look at the trees. And I mean, it's perception because I'm looking at how beautiful it is. And even though, yes, when it gets dark here, it'd be like triple darkness here. When it get dark, you can't see nothing out here. And that person was like, when it get dark, I would never come outside. And I'm like, you don't even know, like, you come outside, you look up, oh my God. What you mean you'll never come outside? As dark as it is here, you can see everything. Like, what? Like, you really feel like you in space. Like, I mean, we are. We are. But it just really make you feel it. Like, you be like, oh my God, like, this is space for real, you know? Yeah. But I almost missed out on this. That's why I did this video. I almost missed out on this. I was allowing others who had fears start to infest me with their fears. And then I started to fear moving forward in a way that was in the best interest for me. And, you know, manifestations have been popping. Like, because you can't be around all this abundance and not, you know, tap into it. You know what I mean? And even like I said before, like, you know, I was in a space where, you know, already, where, you know, I was around like trees and things like that. So I did kind of see these things, you know, even though it wasn't like to this degree, but I was highly motivated by these things. And like I said, I mean, the biggest thing for me was just get out my own head and, you know, and to be able to release people, places, and things that did not serve me or did not belong in the reality that I wanted to be in. And that's just really what it is. And it may sound harsh, but it's a reality. And the fact of the matter is, you being in a certain frequency will make those who live in like a fear frequency, it'll make them uncomfortable anyway. So they don't like, they want to be, but really what it is not they want to be in your frequency. They want to bring you back to theirs. They want to come and get you and bring you back to theirs. So I have realized like it's no living in fear for me. If I'm talking to someone that is on their frequency, I will do my best to help them raise their frequency. But if that's not what they own, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, do me. I gotta be in a frequency that suits me. And I would have asked that for any of you. Like if you in a situation where you feel like this is just not my energy, but you scared to move on because you don't want to move away from your family. All your family here, you don't want to leave them. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you be stuck there with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, a part of us of this journey is becoming detached from people, places, and things, so we don't get trapped here. So if you stuck to these people, places, and things, like, you got to realize, like, you're not gonna lose them like that. Like, and to a certain degree, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. When you're doing certain things, some people are not going to be bothered with you because you're living in your truth makes them uncomfortable. I've learned that too. So some people you're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna want to be around you because you're not doing what makes them feel comfortable, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? They'll catch up with their crowd. You know what I'm saying? But you catch up with yours. You don't let that hold you back, and that's what I have to realize. Like, to not let anything hold me back from what I feel is right for me. And that goes. Somebody needed to hear it. Somebody needed to hear that it's okay for them to move away from their family and, you know, go towards something that feels more comfortable for them. It's okay. It's okay to leave a relationship that you know doesn't serve you and you know you're not happy in. It's okay to leave it and not know if you're gonna have a mate to replace that you may be single for a little while. It's okay. You may need that time to be single so you can get to know yourself and what you want and what you need. You may need that time. It's okay. I'm not gonna say lonely, but I had a lot of time alone. You know, and when I say alone, like meaning like I wasn't like physically with the mate. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of time where it was just me and my children, and you know, of course, I was around family where I had time to think about what I was going through and who I was, you know, like who I was with before. And not just saying my children's father, just like people in general, like my mates in the past. Like what I didn't want, what I did want. I had time to think about those things. And it manifested into my current situation. You know, realizing what I do want. And even to a degree where I recognize that all the things, like even like in it, don't get me wrong, because like it's things that I'm still working on, and I get triggered by some things, and all praise to the Most High, I attracted a patient mate who is also on a journey of growth and breaking generational curses. So when I'm going through certain things, he not just like, oh, I'm turning my back on you, I don't want to deal with this. It's like, I'm right here with you, baby. Like whatever I need to do to help you get through this. And this is how that's what I needed all along. I made a conscious decision to learn through reward. I gave up learning through pain and I learned through reward now. So if I'm not on the right track, then nothing happens. If I am on the right track, then I'm rewarded. You know what I'm saying? So, and that has been the mode of where I have been lately. So instead of me going backwards into modes of, you know, I'm hurt or I'm in pain and all these type of things, like that's not the way I'm learning currently. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go through those things unless I inflict those things on myself. Let me back up. Now, if like, cause I'm being guided up out of things, but if I decide to um engage in things that I know is not of the frequency of where I want to be, like the frequency, the higher frequencies that I'm attaining and that I'm ascending to. I know these things are not, and I'm studying trying to pursue those things, and I'm actively saying that I want to learn through pain. So I have learned to not do that. When like that is an indicator that I am on the wrong track for real. If I'm experiencing pain in the situation, okay, you are definitely on the wrong track. Now, I also recognize that I could be in a neutral stance where nothing is happening. It's not so much that I'm on the wrong track, but it may be a period of rest for me, of me not taking so much action, me just being patient and letting things align naturally. Excuse me. And then it's when I'm taking action, and then things are happening. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know. And then I see, okay, that's reward. I'm on the right track. So but this took time for me to learn about myself. This is not something that, you know, happened over one day. This is something that I had to go in and recognize about myself and what I wanted, what I didn't want. And I had to like tune out the distractions, the voices of others who felt like they knew better for me than I knew for myself. Regardless of my mistakes in the past or what I did or didn't do right or wrong, you know, they still don't know. And just like I don't really know for them. Like I could try to tell them like, hey, you know, you can get out of the situation, da da da. And that may not be the right move for them. That's just what I feel, because that's what I feel is right for me. And I'm also learning that too, to, you know, let people do what fits them, even if I feel like it's not right. If I feel like it's wrong, even if let me back up too, because a lot of times I can see things before they even happen. Ooh, and I could tell a person, no, 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 don't do it. And a person will be like, I'm going to do it anyway. And you don't know what you're talking about. And this is me. And then it happens. And then they just get silent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Looking at me like I'm some type of witch doctor or something. It's like, no, I mean, it was clear. Like, I clearly saw this and I tried to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't want to be in an I told you so mode. I really rather you get the lessons that you need so you can grow and not even have to go through. Because those with eyes can see, those with ears can hear. So if it ain't meant for you, it ain't meant for you. But that's why I do these videos. For those who it's meant for. For those who just need that little push. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was one of the people that needed that push. But I had to go to the Most High. And I recommend that to anybody. But the Most High uses me for things like this. So I may be that voice that you may need to hear externally to get you to make you go in. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that. I'm good. Like I just wanted to share, like, you know, some of the things that was blocking me. You know, like, you know, some of my fears. And some of the fears, not because all of the fears that I named wasn't just mine, it was just generally speaking. There is some fears that some people have in general that hold them back. Don't let them. Don't let your fears hold you back. Embrace who you are. Embrace what makes you feel good. Because that energy of you feeling good, the energy of you feeling that high vibration, and that's the things that align you. Those are the things that align you. You know, and that's what helped me align. You know, just feeling good about what I wanted and being honest about what I wanted and not letting others infect that process, not letting others infect it to a degree where I couldn't see myself in it for real. And like I say, I was almost there. Don't let that happen to you. Again, thank you for joining my channel and for your patience with me and my rambling. Like I say, it's all love. You know, I don't mean just like be talking going on and on and on, but you know, mostly everything that I say needs to be said. One way or another, it needed to be said. I have my way of expressing it. Some people may like it, some people may not. Some people may not want to listen that long. I know this is the microwave culture where everything's just quick and easy, say it gets to the point. Like I say, this message is for who it's meant for. So I love you all, and I wish you all the best frequencies possible in your reality. Align with it and claim it. It's yours. It's yours for the taking. Peace.